Welcome to the Game Professors Podcast, where the students have taken over and we profess our love and hate for all things video games and video games related. Today, we've got a fun course for you as Netflix has chosen a side in the long-running console wars. Cars need not only fuel and gas, but now more RAM than ever. The Fortnite wall may be heading to a collapse, and the Crimson Desert isn't thirsty for fans as they've done pretty well for themselves this week. They say be wary of yellow snow, but PC gamers may want to be wary of white cases as I stare at my own. And the voices of Wonderfell brings life to those that have been silent for far too long. Can't catch them all, but you may be able to lock one down with a new Pokémon wedding band. And a criminal decides to use GTA as an alibi, and I'm sure nobody sees the irony in that. And finally, Xbox games may be hitting the shores of the PlayStation Store as Sony continues to move away from the deep PC gamer install base. Part 2. Alrighty, let's get into those initial kind of announcement stories, a little shorter. The next Xbox Alliance, aka Netflix and Xbox, the next Flixbox, I guess is my final answer. Where confirmed reports indicate that Netflix and Xbox are in active discussions regarding a combined subscription bundle, as per the information we currently have today, this recording as of 3/25, where Netflix co-CEO Greg Peters has publicly acknowledged that they are kicking around ideas with Microsoft's gaming new leadership to find a model that benefits both subscriber bases. This news follows the major leadership transition at Microsoft Gaming in February 2026, which we already kind of discussed that, a former AI president within Microsoft have been promoted to that position. Netflix is currently developing over 80 of their own games and has seen some pretty big success with some Rockstar game partnerships, the GTA Mobile Trilogy. And obviously this bundle would allow Xbox to leverage Netflix's massive non-gaming audience while offering Netflix a more robust gaming library. I mean, they already have Game Pass, and you see all kinds of other things bundled together. This one honestly does not shock me in any way.
I agree with that. I mean, I don't know that I ever really want to see this bundled. And honestly, I think Netflix should just stay out of the gaming space in general. But, I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do.
They have so many IPs that if they truly got into the gaming landscape, I could see them making a bunch of fun games. Or if they at least let passionate people make the games, I could see a bunch of cool and fun games. There's all kinds of different action IPs and stuff. I mean, I personally agree with you, but because I don't think they have the chops, the stomach, or even the pockets for it, as Netflix's daily operations cost so much money that they constantly have to raise prices anyways.
Yep.
But in this case, this would help you because they're not the ones footing the bill, right? This is Microsoft. True. And it's a bundle, so.
I mean, at the exact same time, though, I do agree with the aspect of them having so many IPs. But,
yep. I mean, maybe the bundle and partnership comes with them potentially leasing a couple things for when Microsoft Studios to make games from.
Yeah, it's very possible. But I mean, Amazon tried to do this. And we haven't
talked about one of their games that's been shuttered or any of the massive layoffs. I don't know. I mean, look, anything that gives people a good value, I'm for. I'm not sure this will do that, but if it does, yay for gamers. But I don't see it happening that way. So we'll see. It's publicly acknowledged. There's nothing set in stone, written down, no contract signed. So it's just some official kind of talks that are happening, which means someone said, hey, we should do a thing. And someone else said, that's a cool idea. Let's talk more about it. And that's exactly where we're at. So, alrighty. Cars are expensive. They're expensive to maintain. They're expensive to drive. They're expensive because you have to also have insurance. And God forbid you have to go to the DMV, so they take up your time too. But they're also going to now start using your RAM because, why not? So previously, most cars have about 16 gigs of RAM in them. And to be clear here, we are talking about like self-driving cars, not necessarily your everyday vehicles. But they have like roughly 16 gigs of RAM in them. Nothing crazy. However, Micron's CEO confirmed that level 4 autonomous vehicles will require over 300 gigs of DRAM per car to function during their fiscal Q2 earnings call. So this is something that has officially been said at a company that makes RAM. Now, they have a vested interest in selling more RAM, so I'm sure they would love cars to have more RAM in them.
That's the thing. They can't even get the RAM out to the people who want it.
I mean, sure, but as a company, you don't care. You want more demand for your product regardless, because guess what? If there's more demand, even though you're selling the same amount, you can charge more.
Yep, you're not wrong. Where's the RAM cost trend currently?
It's funny you said that, because I actually did the calculations.
Jeez.
So, I assume that they're not going to be using DDR5. Okay.
I hope not.
I'm assuming they're going to be using HBM4, which is that high bandwidth memory for like AI data centers if you're going to put it into an autonomous vehicle. Anyways, making that assumption, it would cost $5,800 to $6,300 for this 300 gigs of RAM. And
jeez,
this is about 20% more than GDR5 RAM. Or like 30 to 25% more. So you'd be looking at like whatever it was, like $4,000 for GDR5.
It's wild.
Yep. So, and of course, this doesn't include any of the costs for chip-on-wafer substrates that HBM4 requires. So you're talking even thousands of dollars more on top of this. So like $10,000 for 300 gigs of RAM. Hey, I heard you might be in the business for a vehicle. You want to spend $10,000 just to get the RAM for it?
No. I especially don't want to spend like $1,000+ just to tear apart the frickin' dashboard so I can get to the RAM when a RAM stick dies.
Well, here you wouldn't be able to because it would, I'm sure, all be soldered in.
You think so? Maybe.
I mean, I just don't see this as something that they would allow to be quote-unquote removable. I mean, in a vehicle...
Oh my god.
What?
I just realized if it is removable, it's going to be... It's like going to be catalytic converters all over again.
Oh, man.
Oh,
thieves.
Geez.
Are they not stealing catalytic converters or your tires? Or if, you want to go real old school, your stereo system, right? They're stealing your fucking RAM out of your car. Oh, my god.
RAM out of your self-driving vehicle.
This world that you've created. I don't want it to exist. I can see the nightly news. In today's evening, we talk about the continued thefts that have been going around downtown City A, as the thieves are hitting a string of vehicles stealing RAM. Unfortunately, no leads have been gathered yet, but we are looking out for the gigabyte bandits.
Oh man. Oh jeez. You went there.
Oh man. Yep, I hate it, but it's where we're at. So another thing to take all of your RAM, and it's of course still AI related. Oh, anyways,
of course.
All right, that's all we have for quick announcements. Let's get into business and econ. We may be in over our heads as we get in deep to the numbers, but we're going to talk about it anyways. As Epic and Fortnite discover cracks in the wall, as Epic Games is laying off approximately 1,000 employees, which represents about 20% of its global workforce. So this is not an inconsequential amount of people. No matter how big you think Fortnite and Epic Games are, 1/5 of your workforce is a substantial amount to let go in one fell swoop. This comes mostly because of a Fortnite slump, as CEO Tim Sweeney cited a downturn in Fortnite engagement that began in early 2025. The company is currently spending significantly more than it's taking in, which is why you're seeing these cuts. There's also broader industry challenges, including slower growth, weaker consumer spending, obviously current-gen consoles with no new updates on the horizon, selling fewer units than previous generations, and other costs that have come from a lot of those lawsuits that they fought with Google and Apple over App Store prices as well. So, looks like the writing might be on the wall that Fortnite is finally on its way out.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, to be fair, it's still very popular.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's just it seems like it's coming down from the unattainable pedestal that it's been on, which it seems like is part of a trend, as Call of Duty recently sold less than a Battlefield game, which no one would have guessed 5 years ago. So, True. Like, it seems like the major pillars are starting to crumble at the foundations.
You know, I think one of the biggest issues with Fortnite, in my personal opinion, it's the amount of money that they're selling things for the amount of work put in is insane.
I did not put it in here. Mm-hmm. They are selling... I sent it to you, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, they're selling a Peak skin. Is that what you were going to talk about?
Well, the Peak skin, the Nier Automata skins.
Yeah.
They're selling those skins for more than the freaking games cost. The actual games they came from.
Yeah, but they have to be compatible with the emotes, man. They got to test them with all those emotes.
That's just animators' jobs. They already have a skeleton built. They already have their 3D rendering built. All they're doing is transferring a file with a contract attached.
I mean...
Especially for any of the games that were already built in UE5.
No, all new rigging for every animation. Isn't that how it works? Oh, man. Well, then
especially not for humanoid creatures.
That it seems like whoever's making the financial decisions also doesn't understand that.
Weird.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Or they're just
I do agree with you. It's silly that this beloved but small indie title is going to cost less than the Fortnite skin that it's based off.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I said this the last time we had this conversation. I hope Peak is getting 6 out of those, like, what was it? Was it a $7 skin? How much was it? Like 17?
God, I don't remember.
I hope Peak is getting 85% of the cost of that skin bundle.
Yeah, it costs almost 3 times as much as the indie game itself. So it has to be $25.
So I hope Peak is getting $21.5 at least.
Yeah, at least.
They're not, but I do hope that they are. To continue on this path, though, it's not just this ridiculousness and the incentives. Epic has provided official announcement that they are permanently removing 3 quote-unquote major modes that fail to maintain a sustainable player base, which is not something they do often. You're talking Ballistic, Festival Battle Stage, Rocket Racing. I'm not going to go through what each of these do because I'm not a big Fortnite fan, but those are the 3 modes that they are sunsetting. And even though those official modes are closing, the tools will remain in the Unreal Editor so that creators can continue using and making their own versions of those if they wish, which is at least nice. It's just they're being removed from official rotation and matchmaking on the game itself.
Interesting.
Tim Sweeney, who has been under fire for AI suggestions on the Epic Store, stated that, and he specifically went out of his way to make the statement, that the layoffs are not related to AI, claiming the company still wants as many, quote, awesome developers, end quote, as possible to utilize tech for productivity. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll totally believe him.
On an interesting note, popular content creator Typical Gamer publicly reached out to Tim Sweeney offering to buy and maintain the Ballistic mode through his own company. I mean, if you're not going to have it in the game, why not sell the mode minus the assets?
Yeah.
Seems like if you need money and you're laying off people, this could be a good way to get money.
Yeah. It also kind of depends on how much he's trying to offer. But I mean, any amount is better than zero.
True. Again, especially for something that you're removing and not going to even have in the game. There's nothing that says you couldn't do like a 1-game license either. So if you want to bring it back and they want to make a sequel, you can say no.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And that happens all the time with IP trades.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But yeah. Oh, looks like some trouble in I don't know if you could really call the game a paradise, but looks like there's some trouble on the horizon. I do find this interesting, small little tidbit, that Fortnite finally returned to the Google Play Store on March 19th. So, I mean, are they going to get an influx of cash as the game's now returned? Or is it going to continue its downturn, and you could arguably say that Google inflicted the damage they wanted to?
Well, I mean, true. But like the thing is that with building in Fortnite, right? Just like looking back at Fortnite in general over the course of the last like decade, right? God, we're too old. It's one of those things where like they introduced building, right? I mean, there's always been building, really, but it really took off. And you have all the like professional FPS gamers who have the freaking flick accuracy and the freaking cranking 90s and crap like that, right? And eventually that pushes a lot of your older player base out, but your newer player base doesn't have the attention span to stay with your game for any length of time.
Especially
so what did they do? They introduced a no build mode. And I know plenty of people who are our age and older that play that mode.
That's true. And I played that mode when I played Fortnite, which was not for very long.
Right.
But it is the mode that I played.
The third person aspect drives me insane.
I mean, it's not my preferred mode, but
right.
I can play it every now and then.
It's just the corner peeking drives me insane.
You just gotta get used to it, bro.
I can get used to it all I want. I can get used to driving a freaking Prius, but I don't want to.
You just equate third-person gaming to being a Prius driver?
Yeah. No. Not being a Prius driver. Driving a Prius. That is very different.
Yeah, but if you're driving a Prius, by definition, you are a Prius driver.
Yes, but I'm not out here judging Prius drivers.
I don't know. It kind of sounds like you are.
My Lord, Plague.
All these Prius drivers corner peeking the crap out of me.
Oh, crap.
I'm just going to use that now when I don't like somebody who's camping a corner in whatever shooter I'm playing. That guy's a Prius driver.
Oh, my God. That'd be a great insult.
No one's going to understand it.
Just you know for a fact. It doesn't matter if they understand. You could say it in a group of 4 other people, and they would laugh.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
it's the energy, right? That
exactly.
You give
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the energy that you give. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, man. Anyways, let's move away from the Prius drivers and on to lab work. All right, getting into lab work, looking at the recent releases. Although, we aren't going to look at Death Stranding 2, because, I mean, it's a release on PC. It's been out for console forever. So we'll talk more about that once Heru actually gets around to playing it after his WoW extravaganza dies down a bit.
Yeah, after my part-time job is done.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically. But you'll get there. So instead, even though Heru's going to play this a bit, it's probably going to be further down the line. So we're going to get into kind of some of the drama a little bit around Crimson Desert's recent release, which was last week on March 19th. Came out for all the major consoles and PC from developer Pearl Abyss, known for, surprise, surprise, Black Desert. Wow, I mean, it's like almost a theme in the name. Which is just an open-world action-adventure RPG. It evolved from an MMO prequel into a standalone single-player game. It did initially have a lot of success initially upon launch. I don't know why I keep saying initially. So initially it sold 2 million copies within the first 24 hours of release, and then eventually hit 3 million copies within its first 5 days, i.e. as of yesterday of this recording, or 2 days ago if you're listening and when it comes out, and generated over 20 million in revenue from Steam pre-orders alone before it even came out officially. And despite high sales, the developer stock actually initially dropped because of a lot of mixed early review scores. So it currently sits at a 78 to 79 average across all platforms, with a lot of kind of diamond in the rough references, some concerns about some overly ambitious mechanics that didn't necessarily quite pay off, but that could be polished to be better in the longer term. And it did have mixed reviews on Steam with like a 61% positive, but after updates has climbed to mostly positives. The viewership peaked about 500,000 on Twitch at launch, which I don't really like to go by Twitch numbers because sometimes there's people who will love to watch a game and then never actually buy it or play it. So that doesn't really transfer into a successful studio.
So many people have moved off of watching on Twitch too.
That's true.
Because, like, I'll be real with you, I don't watch Twitch anymore.
What?
Their player sucks. Twitch Turbo doesn't give me anything.
Did you just say all the players suck on Twitch?
That's not what I said.
I don't know. Sounds like you're picking fights today. First Prius owners and
Plague.
Now every gamer on Twitch.
It sounds like you need to get your ears checked.
All right. The video player.
Correct.
Sucks on Twitch.
Well, and like I already have YouTube Premium, so, you know.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I still hop on to Twitch every now and then, but it's mainly because something's like, hey, come get this free thing. Okay.
Right, exactly. And the second that YouTube decides to implement drops, like, they're going to lose that too.
Oh, yeah, if I could get the same free thing on YouTube, yeah, I wouldn't touch Twitch.
Exactly.
They're paying me, essentially, with free swag to use Twitch.
Exactly. Also, today I learned Pearl Abyss is a publicly traded company.
Hey, did you... Oh, well, I was going to say... I don't know why, but I was about to ask, did you buy stock when I literally just mentioned the stock drop? Wait a minute. I wish after it actually has rebounded and now has gone up to 173%. When it had dropped by 30%, I wish I had invested money because I would have made a bunch.
Right.
Because, yeah, those initial reviews came out. Investors freaked out. They're like, oh, the game's terrible. And then, of course, it hit buku numbers on Steam and has obviously sold a lot. And even though it had initially some hiccups, a lot of people are enjoying it now. So, like, it should be pretty successful in the long run. So investors are like, oh, okay, never mind. And now they're buying it again.
Oh, man.
Anyways, so a lot of people liked the kind of combat in the game, the complexity and fluidity. A lot of it was compared to, like, Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden, although the UI and the controls mapped out were... a point of contention, as players found the jam-packed button mapping and inventory UI to be clunky and unintuitive on both keyboard and controller. So that's something that hopefully gets fully ironed out into the future. The game looks gorgeous, which, yay! I mean, it's awesome if that works and the performance is fine, but that is one of the things people pointed out. There's a lot of open world interaction, a lot of praise for tension and responsiveness, where NPCs react, quote unquote, realistically, and players can engage in high physics tasks like carrying animals, which I did love that you can pick up an NPC animal that's name is literally Fat Cat and carry it around. So I saw that video, which I absolutely enjoyed. And then, of course, environmental destruction with certain facilities. And then the biggest thing was just the sheer and utter scale of the continent in the game, described as astonishing, with some critics still finding new content even after 100 hours. And I have seen a lot of the streamers who just, you can look over it and see things that seem like they're miles away that you can actually go reach. So I do love big worlds, as long as they're not big empty worlds. Starfield. Anyways, so...
That's not one big empty world. That's many.
Well, yeah, I was going to say multiple empty world planets.
Exactly.
Man, after we talked the last episode, I think I might have sent it to you, but a video popped up in my feed of, like, PlayStation gamers will never know our pain, and it's just someone running across empty land. in Starfield.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
The game did have some initial performance stutter issues with some CP-bound asset streaming problems causing frame drops. Not surprisingly, that this is a problem that exists. So
that was initial builds, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like they've already fixed those.
Some of it.
Well, yeah, but they fixed, my guess is probably quite a few.
I would say the major ones, yeah. Especially from
they fixed it faster than Monster Hunter Wilds.
I see where you're going with it. Yes, they did.
Weird.
Many difficulty spikes, early boss fights, and stamina system were characterized for being too punishing and tedious. Although, don't tell this to a Dark Souls, Demon Souls person because they will laugh in your face. Notable lack of support for Intel Arc GPUs, which was an interesting one, where the cards just didn't support those Intel, or the game didn't support those Intel cards in any way or fashion. It was just literally unplayable. And kind of tone deaf, where Pearl Abyss actually told people to just request refunds. And then I saw, as of a couple days ago, they walked it back and said that they will work on getting it up and running for Intel GPUs. So bummer for anyone trying to help with GPU competition in the market that decided to buy an Intel card. You can't play it yet. There was also an initial concern about lack of a central storage system for items, causing significant player frustration as they try to get things organized.
I don't know why games keep doing this. Look, I understand you want to make it realistic. You don't get to open one drawer and be able to have all of your kitchen utensils in it, unless that's a really big drawer. But
hey,
this is a video game.
Hey, you tell that to my Fallout 3 high-rise hotel suite closet that had 327 Chinese AKs in it.
No. Not had. Has.
I mean,
we know you still have that save, sir.
I don't know what you're referring to.
I'm going to need a screenshot. I'll post it on X.
Don't check the locker that also had 209 grenades, 157 lunchbox mines, and 98 plasma grenades. Yeah, don't.
Central storage. Central storage is absolutely critical. I'm fine with having to place things into individual storage locations, but if I'm at a frickin' crafting table, pull it from everywhere.
I mean, interestingly enough, that is one thing that Starfield actually had.
Yes.
Where
it did indeed.
And eventually you could build it where all your settlements were also connected, so you could also put it at one settlement eventually.
RuneScape Dragon Wilds has it too.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. They actually did pretty well on that one.
Yeah, this definitely should be a thing when it comes to crafting. I don't mind if I'm trying to pull something out specific that I have to go find that box.
Yeah, sure.
Or to put in my inventory, but yeah, for crafting, absolutely. It's just a pain in the butt.
Yep. And friggin' Blizzard finally figured that out with WoW too.
Yeah. I mean,
surprise, surprise.
I mean, I feel like there's a joke in there, but I'm just gonna.
There is.
Anyways. The first major patch, which started turning around a lot of those reviews, came out as of yesterday/2 days ago, that added a private storage at the Howling Hill Camp and Hernand Tavern, which was obviously addressing one of the major complaints about that central storage. Combat balancing, which increased Cliff's, which should be the main character, base stamina recovery by 50%, and widened parry windows to make encounters less exhausting. Improved keyboard amounts responsiveness, along with a more robust shortcut remapping option. Reduced the time required to acquire knowledge, added more abyss nexuses for improved fast travel, and made gathering/logging easier. Fewer hits required, no manual aiming needed for trees, those such things, and some technical stability patching as well, which resolved a lot of crashes on PlayStation platforms related to map usage and fixed invisible cat glitches on minimum PC settings.
I need a video of that. What I'm imagining is that it says invisible cat, but what I'm imagining is it's invisible mountain lion. It's just attacking you and you can't see it. That's what I'm imagining.
It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's
true.
A major
very
trophy
stealthy
that you have to hunt down. Yeah. You did not You do not have a high enough perception to see the cat.
Before the book series I just got you on, you would have never made that joke.
No, but I have, and I did. Anyways, Pearl Abyss acknowledged that the cyberpunk style iterative improvements to address performance and volatility on base consoles will be showing up. There is DLC and multiplayer speculation with a single-player journey that the developers intend investigating potential Abyss expansions for. And there will be more upcoming patches, including one for Xbox. As you heard, I didn't actually mention Xbox up here. That should help with some stability-heavy issues as well. So, overall, game with a lot of potential, a bunch of rough stuffs, rocky launch, getting better. Cool. About where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with consoles, and it always has been, is that to actually push updates, they have to get vetted by the console company.
Yeah, they have to be approved, right?
Yep. Steam doesn't have that problem. They scan the files, make sure it's safe, and send it on its way.
Yep. And if they're not, they'll just give people refunds. So the developer may want to make sure that the game's functional.
Yup.
Steam
Did I
don't
ever
play.
tell you? Did I ever tell you? I know I haven't told the podcast, but did I ever tell you that I actually managed to get a refund from Nintendo once?
What?
Yeah.
You pried money out of Nintendo's hands?
I did. I pried money out of Nintendo's hands. You know the League of Legends game that came out? Oh man, what was it called? Ruined King. That's what I remember. It came out originally. It came out on everything, right? All at the same time. It was a turn-based RPG, right? So originally my idea was like, okay, I'm gonna pick this up on my Switch so I can actually, play it and just play it wherever. Doesn't matter. I don't need good graphics. Like I just want it to work and I want to experience it. I was looking for story in that aspect. Well, you get to the third act in that game on the Switch originally, and it is non-existent. Like in the original version, you would teleport to the third act of that game, and it assets were just invisible. You couldn't see the floor. All kinds of things were just jacked.
That's a bummer.
So I took a bunch of pictures of it, and I reached out to Nintendo, and I'm like, hey, I'd really like to just get this game refunded. And they did ultimately refund me, and then I just bought it on Steam. And it was perfectly fine on Steam.
I mean, hey, so Nintendo's tracking down your account, and they're going to pull funds from it, because you eventually went and played it.
that account will go negative, and it'll stay there.
They're going to garnish your wages.
Good luck, buddy.
Their money. Alrighty. Well, I think that's all we need for lab work. Let's get into shop class. All right, heading down to shop class, taking a look at some tech tools. Specifically, we're looking at issues of the white aesthetic cases turning yellow, or yellowing for a more correct term, as the ABS plastic being exposed to RGB lights with some UV tints to them over time are turning yellow.
Now, are they turning yellow because of RGB, or are they turning yellow because people are smoking in their house?
That's a good question. I think it's possible because a lot of those builds came from white builds that were using blue/purple color themes.
Okay.
Which would
this
make
is why she's red.
sense. I mean, no, purple's the best. You're not gonna convince me otherwise. My whole CS collection of skins are all purple or white with purple stickers. It's the best. And I'm sitting here looking at my white PC build right now that also has teal and purple lights in it.
So have you checked? Is it yellowing?
I don't think so.
Pulling out his phone.
We'll see here.
He's turning on his flashlight. He's getting really close.
Most of my case is white, so I have a Lian Li. It's not the main Lian Li case. It's a nice, just single side panel that has easy access to pop open, but the rest of it's a white metal. So the only thing that would potentially have like ABS plastic that would affect would be the fans, because they're Lian Li white fans, which the RGBs are currently right on, so it's hard for me to overpower that with my flashlight on my phone.
Fair.
I need my super duper one. And then the motherboard that I have that has a white plastic shroud over the top VRM heatsinks, but that's new, so it's not, going to be affected by that yet. Yeah. So,
all right.
We'll
keep you updated next year.
If my motherboard plastic is yellowed, I'll let you know.
Perfect, because I know for a fact there's no one that smokes in that household, or at least
That's
not
true.
inside the house.
There's no one that smokes. So we'll know. We'll at least get from these parts. We'll know.
Perfect. We'll conduct our own experiment, guys. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Now, to be fair here, I don't know what exact plastic that is, but it is specifically certain ABS plastics that have some flame retardants in it that are undergoing a chemical reaction when exposed to UV or high frequency lights, specifically in the 365 to 405 nanometer range, which is kind of where you're seeing that specific color of lights. And to your point, is turning a nicotine yellow. So.
There's a line in here that you skipped right over, and it says they were effectively baking their own plastic from the inside. And that's just a perfect line.
Yeah, it's true though. It does make me laugh though, because the whole thing makes me utterly laugh as like the white builds are the higher end aesthetic builds, right? You're spending all this extra money to get the white components, which are less common than just standard components. So a lot of the white pieces have an upcharge, right? Like you look at white 5070 TR cards and they're like 10 to 20% more than a regular TI card.
It's similar to the pink tax.
Yeah. So, that's unfortunate. And then if your thing is now yellowing, you also don't get as much resale value.
Yep.
So it costs more and you get less back. I mean,
buyers are now specifically asking for plastic check photos under natural light. Yellowed builds are being labeled smoker builds, even in smoke-free homes.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, even though I have a nice white build, I wasn't able to get the white card, so I don't have to worry about that with my GPU, at least.
That's fair.
We'll see on the motherboard, perchance.
Yep.
Oh,
perchance.
But yeah, so I just found this whole thing very funny and very PC gamer problem.
Yeah, 100%. It
Because
was like the last console that was white was the Xbox 360. Well, no, the Xbox One is white.
The S.
Yeah.
The S is white. The non-disc streaming current gen Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but like I live in basically complete darkness at all times. Like I have as few lights on in my house as I possibly can. And
when he goes outside, he sparkles.
That's true. When I do have lights on in the house, they tend to be at 30% maximum, and they are generally like a reddish pink. They are not like the standard white.
Every time I see you out in the real world, I always think to myself, I'm surprised he's not wearing a giant sun hat.
I mean, as long as I'm in the building, it's fine. Which I work inside, so it's fine.
Oh, man. Were you ever like super into the goth crowd at one point?
Yes. I still have some.
What? I never see you in any of your goth garb.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wear it, but I still have it.
I feel like you're just lying to me, and next time we go get some lunch, you're gonna have to wear it. Oh, come on!
Not happening, brother.
Come on! I just want to snap one quick photo.
I can send you photos from high school. How about that?
I do kind of want to see one. I feel like this would be fun.
Okay.
Alrighty. Anyways, moving on from this, because don't really need to go any more into this. It's just fun silliness. But basically, if you're thinking about an all-white build in this RAM apocalypse that we are experiencing, maybe just save your money and do a regular black build and do some fun RGB lighting instead. Or do the thing that apparently is making a comeback, which is the sleeper build with 0 RGB lights. And just go real low-key.
I know people who have done those.
I mean, if it's only you gonna see it and you don't care, there's no reason to put any of the RGB in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Makes 0 sense.
I mean, that's one of the main reasons that I go with red, right? Red tends to be very soft on my eyes, at least. I know other people, it messes with them.
Oh, I mean, this teal and this purple is definitely harsh.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't put like strips of RGB. My fans on the inside don't have RGB. I have my radiator fans on the front. Those have RGB. My RAM sticks, my liquid cooler, the actual like central pump, and then the GPU. That's it. My GPU
is the only thing that doesn't have RGB on it.
Well, and even then, I guess the motherboard technically has one too. But like there's just like a little one on the graphics card, and I did not buy the graphics card with that intent.
But don't lie to us. You definitely.
I didn't care. You remember I stood at Micro Center on the day it released.
Yeah, let me pull up the text that said if it doesn't have RGB, I'm not buying it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, go
I
for it.
that.
Pull it up. Let's go.
Yeah, see, it's right here, people. See, viewers. You can see the text that I'm showing you right now.
No,
all of you can agree and
put
validate
it on our X account. Take a screenshot and send it, brother.
Yes, all you viewers out there, take a screenshot and reply to the X account.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, my Lee and Lee lights are the ones that are connected, so it's got a waterfall RGB style where it's blue and then a purple light moves through it. So I'm
the kind of person that I would put RGB on my chair before I put more in my computer.
Why?
So I could see my dog.
I want you to know, people, that he's on video and he looks down. I for sure thought he was going to say so he could see his own butt. That's what I thought he was going to say. The dog makes way more sense, but that's not what I thought he was going to say. Because you kind of lifted your leg up a little, like you shifted your body when you looked down. I was like, was he trying to look at his own butt? Like, dang, bro, that's a little too self-absorbed, if I have to say so. Anyways.
But no, right, my doggy likes to lay between the wheels of my chair, so it'd be nice to be able to look down and be like, okay, cool, I can actually roll and not roll over him.
You can just go do that now. You know, they do RGB strips that are like battery powered. They're like low power batteries.
I said before, not now.
Yeah, but you still could do it now.
Yes, I could.
You know what? Why don't you just get him an RGB collar?
That is a sick idea, but he doesn't wear a collar when he's inside.
Oh, well. That seems like
it makes northern breeds look weird, so I don't like it.
So you don't care about the aesthetics of your PC, but the aesthetics of your dog. That's what matters.
We all have priorities, okay? I don't judge your priorities. Don't judge mine.
You judge mine. We have conversations about you judging some of mine.
Yeah, sure, but not in public.
What are you talking about? We have conversations on here all the time.
Yeah. Anyways.
Look, I can understand wanting to make sure a cute dog stays a cute dog, though. I think everyone would probably agree with that statement. Alrighty. Well, cute dogs aside, let's get into some AI that I did not consider and that I do very much approve of in the gaming landscape. It's something that we've mentioned, but for newer games rather than old games. So specifically, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind is getting an uplift from modders, specifically a project called Voices of Vardenfell. There we go. From modder Don Ruta, or Dan Ruta, depending on how you want to say it. Uh, for the very famous Morrowind, where a lot of the game doesn't have any actual NPC dialogue. Obviously, a lot of the main characters, main storylines, main quests do. But a lot of side stuff will just give you with the wall of text. And for anyone that didn't play Morrowind, but instead played Fallout 3, you've experienced something very similar, where you'll encounter a lot of characters where it just pops up the text bubble and you're not actually hearing any voice lines. So, what this modder has done is he's gone in and used AI to give voices to all of these NPCs, approximately 2,500 NPCs.
This is interesting. It's not something that I would have ever anticipated. I mean,
I didn't think
games that are that old, obviously they were in development during the time period where the only way you were ever getting voice acting was by paying for someone and paying for a studio, right? Because like home PC and audio recording setups were not very good, nor were they relatively cheap.
No.
Like, you basically had to have a full-blown studio in your home to have good. Any kind of good recording. Yeah. Nowadays, though, we could do shit like this.
But even nowadays, how much are you paying to get 2,500 NPCs voiced, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of lines.
I'm not talking from a major studio, because,
sure,
you know, that's different. Like, just indie guy or modder guy, specifically in this instance, is he going to Fiverr and paying 2,500 people
$500,
a $5 bill to record a voice line? And we're being generous here that he's only spending $5.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, there's no way he's not going to have the money to do that. It's a passion project. I mean, this is the type of thing that I love seeing AI applied to, because this wouldn't happen outside of it. Bethesda, outside of doing an official, essentially, remake of Morrowind, this wasn't going to happen. And even then, they may not have actually redone any of the voice lines that weren't there. They may have just done the ones that had originally existed and left the game as it was for the original text. This is a great use of AI. This breathes new life into a very old game to do. And for anyone that enjoyed that original game, that gives them a reason to go back to it and play it again and experience it in a whole new and different way.
Yep, absolutely.
So, I love this. This is the type of thing I love. This is the type of creativity and AI use that makes sense and that I applaud.
Mm-hmm. I agree thoroughly.
Is there any game you can think of that you'd like this applied to? I mean, thinking back, there are some very old school RPGs. I mean, this wasn't Bethesda, but Bethesda now opens the IP. The Fallout 2 isometric game, that'd be cool to see a lot more dialogue added to that. I wouldn't mind getting back into something like that. Gosh, I want to mod in a voice for the Half-Life main character.
Yeah. See, I think it's really funny because
he doesn't actually have any lines, to be fair. You're not reading any text. I just think it would be hilarious to generate him an entire response and script that never existed in the first place.
Oh, man. I think it's really funny because you played a lot more RPGs than I did when we were younger. Trying to think back, the ones that I mostly played were like the original Spyro game, right?
Yeah. You could add all new voice lines.
Oh my lord, Paper Mario.
Oh, Paper Mario would be great.
That would be sick.
That would be,
if it doesn't release Nintendo, only on Nintendo, you're not going
to be able to let the mod exist because it's Nintendo. But
exactly,
that would be an awesome use for it. Yeah, that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
You could get
like the original Spyro would be sick. Paper Mario would be awesome. I know that Maru would hate me if I didn't mention Legends of Mana.
Yeah, that's
fair. Like, if she ever listened to this and she's like, "You didn't mention Legends of Mana," that's exactly what would happen.
I mean,
yeah, there's quite a few out there, but like even like the original Crash Bandicoot.
Sure.
Right? Because I don't even think the remake has voice lines. I'm not 100%, but
yeah, I don't remember.
Anyways,
I mean, the great use for it. Like even a more modern game like the first Mass Effect with those like technically 2007, so I guess not really modern. But the first Mass Effect, there were a lot of side characters and side conversations. Extra NPCs didn't have any voice dialogue. It was just text. This would be great for all kinds of stuff like that. So, fun use for it. Applaud them for doing this. This is a great development. Any Elder Scrolls fans out there, you're going to have a good time with this mod for Morrowind.
This kind of usage, I think is acceptable in like this particular case. But if it was a game such as like Detroit Become Human, just as an example, I think that they would get shit on.
I mean, yeah.
I guess they'd probably get shit on for everything that's not an Android, to be fair.
I mean, I think that's the thing here. Like, in an ideal world, right? Because you can abuse anything, right? Anything that's good can be abused. So, coming at it from an ideal work, how would you ideally like it to work? I would love for an Arc Raiders style. Now, we both crapped on the voices for being soulless and unemotional, but taking that type of philosophy where you are paying voice actors to come in to train your own internal voice model. So there is a human coming in that's getting paid for it, right? And they can then apply those voices, different effects, and all that kind of stuff to do a lot of the side stuff. I don't want any main stuff. I don't want things that I'm constantly hearing over and over again because it's just going to be annoying to not hear any inflection or anything like that. But a lot of the small random side stuff that you encounter once or something like that, I think this would be perfect for, and I would find it acceptable in a large game. Again, assuming it's not abused and in this specific kind of once-off side characters lines where you're hearing once or twice. For example, someone did the calculation and found out that to voice Morrowind, which has over 3,000 unique NPCs and millions of lines of branching text, would cost between 2 to 5 million in studio time and talent to actually get them all voiced, which is never going to happen on a modder's budget or an indie budget, and most likely for lines that you're hearing once or twice that isn't a main character, you're not going to spend the money for that anyways. So, like, it makes sense in this context to supplement the rest of the game.
Yeah, like the side quests in like Spider-Man or something, right? Like, we don't need those necessarily voiced line for line by a real actress or actor.
Characters that you're talking to once. We're not talking about like Spider-Man himself is now suddenly AI voiced. But yeah, you're talking to a concerned citizen that saw something that you're trying to get information from them, and you're talking to that citizen literally once. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, the main characters, they absolutely still need to be voiced by professional voice actors. But the little side characters, the people that we don't really care about, just to add a little bit of something into it.
And not shopkeepers. It can't be something that I'm hearing over and over and over and over again.
Or just say it fucking once.
Sure.
Say it once when I enter the shop.
You know, you could just have a clock check on the game too, where it like says it once a week.
Yeah, that's true. Just a freaking get time code.
Yeah, has the store merchant said that this week? True or false?
The problem is that you have your weekend warriors, so every time that they're playing, it has been a week.
Make it a Wednesday. Just make it hump day.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know. Did like Bethesda respond to this or anything like that?
I didn't see anything official, but they have not issued any sort of cease and desist. And I doubt they necessarily would, because they obviously allow mods for their games. And if this helps them sell more copies of a 24-year-old game, I'm sure they're not really going to complain too much. Especially because they know they couldn't get away from this, right? Even though I said this is the correct use of this, if Bethesda came out and announced that they did all AI voice lines for a bunch of NPCs, there would be some people that liked it, but because of the current climate and atmosphere, you'd get so much backlash. I don't think it's just in this scenario, but you would. The fact of the matter is you would.
If they just released like a $0 DLC for it, I would have had no issues personally.
And yeah, if it's a free update, that's
exactly
fair.
If it was just a free update, $0 DLC, call it a day, I don't think anybody would have any right to complain.
They wouldn't have a right. You would still see some people complain,
some of it,
way less.
But I also think that a lot of the community would just shut them down. Like we would just call those people stupid, right?
Yeah,
like
you're not wrong.
The company just provided you something for free. Shut up and take it.
For a 24-year-old game.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think if they did something like that, nobody would complain. With it being a mod, no one's going to complain. But yeah, it's if they did like an official remaster and then tried to sell it again with AI voice lines like this, no, people would be pissed. So,
and to be fair here, even the modder did his own legwork because it uses Elven Labs, which recently launched a grants for modders program and a licensed voice marketplace. So it's not like this is just ripped from people that aren't getting compensated either, which is good.
Interesting.
But yeah, so good use of it. I'd love to see this happen to other old games. Any old games that we haven't already mentioned, or if you like one of our mentions and wanted to point it out, feel free to leave a comment. Tell us what game would be a good game to see this kind of AI NPC character treatment brought new life into. I'm sure there's a bunch of games that I haven't even thought about. I'm sure a bunch of text adventure games, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
they'd be great.
The Oregon Trail. I want to hear AI tell me I've got dysentery.
Oh, God. I can't even.
Well, no, you have dysentery. You barely have any energy at all. There's not much you can do. Oh, man. Anyways, let's move on to Free Period. All right, Free Period. This one is silly and fun. I'm not sure how deep we'll get into it, but there is a partnership going on with Pokémon and a Japanese jewelry company. The collection is produced by You Treasure, which is a high-end Japanese jeweler, and they're specializing in sophisticated character jewelry designed for adults. So they expanded their selection, which was started back on 2024, for a bridal line to include the new starters from the latest series, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I mean, this is big kid, expensive, shiny toys.
I mean, so look, real talk, I think they made a really terrible mistake starting with the newest series.
Well, they expanded.
Yeah. Well, they expanded into the newer series. Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, people want like Pikachu and, Squirtle and Bulbasaur and Charmander. Like, that's what they want.
I mean, that's true. That's what I would want. Yep. But it does, so with the entirety of the collection, there's 30 different base designs to choose from. There's 12 different colored gemstone. You get Pokemon marks, which are 80 different unique engravings. The marks are typically engraved inside the band as a secret between the couple. Your fan favorites are there. So specifically, the article mentioned Pikachu, Eevee, Mew, Gengar, which Gengar is bad, and the newest starter trio. So it's there. It exists. Anyone super nerdy and into Pokemon, which kind of would have to be both people if you're gonna do this.
Yeah, just a little bit. These are I understand why they chose some of these. I'm still surprised that we didn't get a Squirtle.
I mean, I'm sure it's in there. These are just the ones that are specifically mentioned. Yeah, I would be shocked if the original starters aren't in the full lineup.
We're gonna find out.
You go look it up. So the rings start at 335,500 yen, which is approximately 21 to 2,200 USD, which is only a 0.2 carat diamond for that price range. And you've got various metals to choose from with platinum, yellow gold, pink gold, and white gold. Those who have a larger budget can get the specialized Pokeball Diamond, which features a unique 143 facet cut diamond that reveals the silhouette of a Pokeball when viewed through a specialized scope.
They have Monster Hunter stuff.
How much does Urasel love Monster Hunter?
Oh, we both love Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but does she love it as much as you do?
Well, first off, we'll never get married, but
yeah, I mean, but you can have the rings without getting married, right? So
yeah, these aren't that bad either. Anyways, I can't seem to find the Pokemon stuff though.
It's there somewhere. There is also a wooden Pokeball accessory case, because if you're gonna get a Pokemon ring, it's gotta come in a Pokeball. That would just be a crime.
Yeah, it absolutely has to.
That would just be silly. I mean, it's something fun and something silly. I'm glad that there's other nerdy gamer stuff that you can get those rings in. I look forward to you showing me your Monster Hunter ring with the specific monster that you got engraved on the inside, I'm sure.
Oh, man. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's a Monster Ball accessory. Free.
Anyways. Now, the question is, when can I get my Power World ring? Just kidding.
You know what's really, really funny about this? The highest ranked thing in here is from a game referred to as Inazuma Elven Heroes Victory Road. I've never even heard of this thing.
Is it a gacha? Feels like it's a gacha.
It looks like a gacha. It looks very Digimon-esque.
Oh. Well, this is a Japanese company, so maybe there's something local that's very popular.
Almost guaranteed. Yeah. Then there's a lot of My Hero Academia in here too.
Well,
and
yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
That doesn't surprise me.
Anyways.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh, of all things. Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's time to wed.
Holy crap. I didn't think you were going to go all in on that one.
For anyone who would like to object to this union, please now reveal your trap card.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that.
With the power invested in me, I now combine your life points.
I now sacrifice the man for the woman.
I now summon Exodia! No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Nailed it.
All right. Kaiba? No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Oh, God. Just kidding. You're going to keep going, I swear.
Well, if anyone would like some nerdy, fun gamer rings, go check out You Treasure, because it sounds like they have some fun stuff. Oh, man. All righty. Unless you got any final comments on this, or You Treasure itself and what they offer?
Nope. We're good.
Okay. Oh, man. Well, let's get into civics and sociology then. All right, everybody circle up. Let's take a look at some of the aspects in the gaming community and some of the institutions at work. Specifically, some not very good and moral people is what we're starting with. A person by the name of Stephen McCullough was found guilty by the Belfast Crown Court on March 23rd, 2026. He murdered his pregnant girlfriend, Natalie McNally, which obviously very sad, very scary. He tried to use GTA as an alibi. So it was only a 5-week trial. A jury of 6 men and 6 women took less than 2 hours to reach their unanimous guilty verdict. The Justice Patrick Kinney immediately imposed a mandatory life sentence, and what is referred to, I'm seeing as a tariff hearing to determine the minimum number of years McCullough must serve before being eligible for parole is scheduled for May. So the full breakdown. McCullough attempted to manufacture a digital shield by live streaming for 6 hours on the night of the murder, which was December 18th, 2022. He titled the stream, the Violent Night Christmas live gaming stream. The broadcast featured gameplay of Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, and Robot Wars. He tried to convince his 37,000 subscribers that he was live at home in Lisbon. He wore a Santa hat and drank Guinness and Bailey's on camera. He told viewers, quote, "I'm not leaving the house tonight," end quote, because saying something over and over again definitely isn't suspicious. He also claimed a technical glitch prevented him from reading or responding to live chat, instructing his audience to chat amongst themselves, because even with technical glitches, there's definitely no way to ever see your chat over the entirety of a stream, and most streamers that have issues with their chat definitely don't try to fix it ever. So, totally also not suspicious.
Definitely not. No, very normal.
I mean, come on. Like, you know you're going to be suspected, right? Because you're making this ahead of time. Like, this is obviously premeditated. So he's thought this out. And
very much so.
In his own mind, he thought the game that will work best for my alibi of murder is going to be Grand Theft Auto, one of the most violent games series in history, at least according to outside media. And so you're going to be suspected, right? You're probably going to be interviewed by the police, and if things don't go your way, you might be in court. And so the game you want, this live stream you want being shown to the court is Grand Theft Auto? Again, he planned all this out. He recorded it ahead of time. He planned all of this out, and not once did he think, you know what? Maybe I should just pick a puzzle game.
Just pick a puzzle game.
Because then you could also build in, oh, there's a reason I'm not looking at chat, because I'm super concentrating on the puzzle, right? I'm really in deep to the puzzle. I'm really focusing in. Chat, you're distracted. Like, you could do all kinds of things. Chat, stop distracting me. Stop distracting me. I'm not going to look at that chat. I got to focus on the puzzle. There's all kinds of things. You could do, you could just play Minecraft, something simple that, like, the court's not going to look at and immediately go to the worst, because it's like they're watching you run over people and shoot at police while in a court setting. Why Grand Theft Auto? I don't understand.
I don't get it either, man. That's wild.
Of all the game series you could pick to have in court, I mean, I know he didn't plan on being in court, but, like, he planned this far ahead, and he didn't think it might be in court at some point if things don't go well for him.
Right.
Oh, man. I mean, we'll see here in a second that he also wasn't the smartest dude. So, PSNI crime experts proved the live stream was actually pre-recorded on December 14th and 15th. And it was recorded 4 days before the murder occurred. How did they prove it? Well, forensic analysis recovered a video file of the stream that had been deleted on December 19th and emptied from the computer's recycle bin, because he was smart enough to empty his recycle bin, but not smart enough to understand that doesn't actually delete any of the data.
Man.
I mean,
look, if more people who were intelligent about these things committed these types of crimes, we'd be in for a hell of a ride.
I mean, that's a good point. Do we even talk about how you actually delete your data and make sure that, like,
no,
none of that information?
We both know how. We're not going to mention it. Not right after we brought up murder.
Why not, Heru?
The last thing I want to do is be subpoenaed in court because they say, oh, but I heard about how to actually wipe my data from a hard drive on this podcast.
Yeah, but then they can play the clip where I talk about you wanting to look at your butt with RGB lights.
And I guess all publicity is good publicity, right?
This sounds like a perfectly fine scenario. Well, except for the person that got ended. So I guess maybe it's not good for them. Oh, man. Yeah. This again, like, you could just Google, too. Like, he thought this far ahead. He did all this premeditation, and he didn't even Google anything. Like,
it's almost worse. It's almost worse because they proved a ton of premeditation.
Yes, 100% they did. Yeah, I mean, that's why he got life, essentially.
Yeah, which is significantly worse than spur of the moment.
100%. I mean, that plus him also traveling 17 miles and being captured on CCTV also didn't help. As a person matching his description took a bus to the scene, and a taxi driver later identified him during the return trip. He used a taxi.
Bro.
Oh, man, because you know me, when I'm doing crimes, I like to get other people involved when I'm leaving the scene. Oh, man. Yeah, it's a good thing.
Why not take a bus back?
I don't know.
Like, you took a bus there, and then you're like, oh, yeah, I successfully committed murder. Let me spend money on a taxi.
He only thought far enough ahead to check the bus schedule to get there.
I guess so. He didn't calculate how much time it was going to take. All right, this is sounding bad now.
My question is, because I don't exactly know where this took place. So if this is a city where taxis are abundant, then fine. But like, if it's not, didn't that mean he have to use a phone to call the taxi? So did he also bring his phone with him?
All right, so our options are Pennsylvania.
Well, it's not here in the U.S.
Or the United Kingdom.
Yeah, well, it's Belfast Crown Court, so I would imagine the United Kingdom.
Yeah, so what is this? Craigavon? Is that Northern Ireland?
Could be. I mean, it's Belfast, so.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you know,
it that's definitely it.
So there you go.
Interesting.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe taxis are prevalent there, but again, just another ridiculous thing. So, anyways, eventually he was confronted with the digital evidence, and he broke and admitted the stream was pre-recorded, and then tried to say, but he was actually at his home asleep during the crime. Because nothing, again, sounds incriminating, like admitting that you were lying this entire time, and then saying, but seriously, I didn't do it. Oh, man.
So, I don't know that we've ever actually talked about it, but a successful streamer / content creator kind of has to be a narcissist. Like, they have to believe that they are God's gift to Earth to be who they are.
I mean, he was so sure of himself and his plan that he didn't do any research whatsoever.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yes, I would say that tends to be a hallmark of a high narcissist with low intelligence is how I'm going to describe that.
So an idiot.
I mean, are you saying all idiots are narcissists?
No. Look, all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares.
True. That is true.
So,
oh, man.
All narcissist streamers are idiots, but all idiots are not narcissist streamers.
Man, dude, you're hitting all the groups today.
Yeah. Hey, I am an equal opportunity. Yeah, that one. Thank you.
I was gonna say, where are you going with this? Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a narcissist. Following the murder, he visited Natalie's parents because nothing shows zero empathy, emotion, or anything like meeting the parents of the woman you just took out. And intentionally left his phone behind for 40 minutes while it was recording to allegedly hear if the family suspected him. So I imagine he probably started the recording, locked his phone, set it down, left, and then came back later claiming, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot my phone."
Mm-hmm.
His legal team tried to argue that the pre-recorded stream was a financial move to ensure a smooth broadcast for audience engagement. The audience engagement that could not happen because it was a pre-recorded stream.
Yep. Well, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, 37,000 subscribers, right?
Yep. I mean, he had it made.
Look, give me a good reason that somebody in that position should commit murder.
let's see, unable to process any sort of emotions, extreme narcissism, insecurity, general hate.
So most of the people who live online. Got it. Now I'm concerned for the world. Thanks, Plague.
I mean, you should have been concerned for the world before that.
I have been.
I grew up in Xbox lobbies. I was concerned from day one.
Fair.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean the guy's crazy. It does bring up a good point that it would be nice if there was a way for Twitch and other streaming platforms to ensure that something live was live, but that's a lot harder to do because of the nature of the business, right? Most of the time things aren't plugged directly into a camera. So, that's anything in between, and you've broken that chain of confirming whether or not something is live. Be interesting if there was a way to do it, but I just don't see it being as something that can happen at the moment.
But yeah, I'm so confused by the decisions here
Of this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason he got caught
confused
and is in prison now for life.
I'm confused why anybody ever goes that far in life, but
I mean that's true. You've lost the plot. You've got something severely broken inside when you decide to make this drastic choice.
Exactly. Meanwhile, you already went this far. You didn't think to, I don't know, reread your plan book? You want to proofread it? Make sure you didn't miss any steps?
Hold on. Are you telling me that if you're going to do the deed, you're basically creating a project proposal ahead of time?
I mean, if I'm going to plan it, I'm going to make sure that it's planned.
What does your ROI assessment look like?
It's probably negative life.
+1 revenge, -1 life. Oh man, dude.
Oh, crap.
Oh man.
No, but seriously, murder is bad. Don't do it.
Yeah, dude.
All right, moving on.
Do not punch other people's off buttons. It's not good. It's morally wrong. No one ends up in a better place. Because you're most likely you're gonna get caught, and unless you think freedom is worse than being in jail, then you're not gonna end up in a better place, even if you get your whatever you're seeking. So don't do it. There's lots of reasons. Don't do it.
Plenty of reasons.
And don't Google how to do it. Don't do it.
You will be put on an FBI most wanted list.
Yes, you will be added to the list. Wait a minute. Anyways, moving on to our next topic is part 2. We've already talked about Sony potentially moving away from PC. A little bit more information came out about kind of what is happening. So Jason Schreier is reporting that Sony is moving back to a conference-first mentality, pulling back from the aggressive PC expansion for the last few years. Currently, it looks like 2% of Sony's total revenue comes from PC. I mean, as a full company, that seems like quite a few dollars. But it does mean that they're less concerned about the PC ports and more about the health of the console itself, which I can at least understand from an initial perspective. I just don't agree with it.
I think that this is just a poor comparison. Yeah, sure. 2% of Sony's total revenue. Sony, the company that makes PlayStation, TVs, soundbars, movies, all kinds of crap. And you're like, oh, well, it's only 2% of our total revenue. Yeah, but how much percentage is it of your gaming revenue?
Now, to be fair here, I hope I did not mislabel this and that it's only 2% of gaming revenue. I would have to double check that. Sometimes I kind of fly ahead of myself. Either way, though, I still think 2% for something that is just a port when you bring in a bunch of money, even from the gaming side, is nothing to scoff at. I think their problem, so let me say this. So they're looking at going, according to Jason Schreier specifically, they're looking at going from a 12 to 18th month window for PC ports to a 3 to 5 year delay. I think the only way that this works is if that 3 to 5 year delay in the money you're investing into the port is because you're doing a remaster or
Right.
something that comes with extra content that you haven't already done. I think one of the reasons the PC ports struggle is they're not day to day, right? Like, you look at Stellar Blade, like, that did amazingly well. You look at Helldivers 2, that did amazingly well. And while being good games, which obviously helps, the fact of the matter is they are day and day. So people on their platforms are excited to play it because things haven't been spoiled. The shine hasn't worn off. This isn't a used toy that's got some new paint on it. It's brand spanking new. Everyone wants to get their, hands in the mix of this new thing and enjoy it together, be a part of the cultural zeitgeist. If you have to wait 3 to 5 years, it's not going to change anything. You might get some extra PlayStation sales initially, but I know most people that play games on PC do so because it's their preferred platform. And I think nowadays are way less likely to buy a PlayStation console to play exclusive. And again, I wish I had remembered to do it, but maybe I'll try to do it for next week. But the overall console exclusive numbers have gone down. There's just not as many. There's just not as much reason to actually invest into the console. There's not enough exclusives, period.
Yeah, so. There's really not. And on top of that, like, I already put multiple thousands into my PC. I don't wish to spend another 5,000 or more nowadays on something that I'm only going to be able to play a few specific games on, because if it's on PC, I'm gonna buy it on PC and not PlayStation. However, you did not actually label this incorrectly. I found the article that you got it from, and it does state total revenue.
Dang, that's a lot of money.
So
2% of all revenue is a lot of money.
Yeah, of all total revenue from a company that is so wildly spread out in hardware, namely, in a ton of different lines, like, that's a lot. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
But it's also still not looking at the correct thing, which is total gaming revenue, right? It should be shrunk down more, but I mean, still, 2% is massive for a company that big.
And I think that's a lot of money that they're leaving on the table. I think they all, now, to be fair, multiplayer is a little different because of the install base, but I think they're being a little hypocritical because they literally, this report from Jason Schreier, so if it's real and to be true, and these are the things they're saying and thinking and are going to go with, this apparently is going to exclude multiplayer and live service games. And they literally mentioned Helldivers 2 and Marathon. Now, Marathon, from the numbers, looks like it's going to be potentially loss, but a report came out this week from reputable sources, I think it was like Forbes. I didn't put it in here because I didn't even think about the connection, where it breaks down that 70% of Marathon sales came from PC, 19% from Sony, and 9% everything else.
So, because I'm a numbers guy,
and like 2% other or something. Anyways.
I want everybody to understand that Sony's total revenue for 2024 was $90 billion. Like, you're talking about like over $1 billion from PC alone.
Which matches reports that we've talked about before, which they were getting about that much. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So, hey guys, $1 billion? Nah, don't care.
Yeah.
These companies make too much money, man. That's where it comes down to.
The logic is flawed. Like,
what is?
Now, to be clear here, let's get into this, because it's most likely not the fact that it's PC. It's most likely the fact that the heavy rumor is that the next Xbox is going to be more PC focused and more open than being restricted Xbox, and you're going to be able to open and play Steam games on whatever the next Xbox is, which means that regardless of where Sony regardless of how Sony decides to keep their games exclusive, if it comes out for PC on Steam and Steam games can be played on Xbox, technically coming out for Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where the real fear is. I don't think the fear is PC.
Probably
I
not.
think their fear is that it technically becomes an Xbox game if it comes out of PC, if all the rumors are to be believed.
Sure. And just because I locked down the number, it's 1.8 billion. That's an insane number. Anyways, at the end of the day, like, I don't know who's making the decisions over there, but fire them and pick someone else.
What,
And
1.8 million or 1.8 billion?
Billion.
Billion.
Yeah. The thing is that we live in a society right now where we have 1.5 million things that are constantly trying to gather our attention, grab our attention, and like hold on to that attention span as fiercely as it possibly can. Okay? Moving their 12 to 18th month window to 3 to 5 years, if you release that game at full price, you will be laughed at. If that game does not release, let's say it was a $60 game, if it doesn't release at $20 on PC, you're going to be the laughing stock of the entire PC world.
Sure, yeah.
Here, let me buy a 3 to 5 year game for full price just because you decided to spend some money to port it over. Oh,
no. It wouldn't fly. That's why I'm like, you'd have to make it like some souped up Game of the Year remaster type deal to even get close to, let's just say, 80% of initial release cost.
Yeah, exactly.
It still wouldn't fly on PC, but it would be at least a way more understandable rather than just releasing the game as is. Yeah, again, I think they're taking the wrong lessons away from here. I think that, and so if this is true, I didn't put this in here because there was no validity to it. So I'm going to talk to it about as an idea because this was proposed as a rumor, but I couldn't find any reputable source. So the idea is that while they are walking this away, that potentially they were considering their own Sony PlayStation PC store, which, okay, like I'd much rather buy my games on Steam, but if your goal is to keep your games exclusive, then a good way to do that would be to sell them through a Sony-only store. Which, look, I don't want another launcher. I don't want another store. But if a PlayStation exclusive game is good enough, and let's say it runs fine on PC, okay? Let's not get crazy here and say it's runs like crap. So let's say it runs fine. The launcher isn't intrusive. It's fine. Let's say all of that is fine. Then yes, I wouldn't have a problem with going and buying the game directly from Sony from its quote-unquote exclusive PC store to play the game.
Me neither.
So if that's the compromise that ends up being real, then okay, sure. I'm not buying a PlayStation.
Not even just that. I'm the kind of person that when I can, I tend to buy products in the way that gives the original product creator the most money. So if I can, that's what I try and do. But your game is one product, your PlayStation is another. So no, I'm not going to buy one product so that I can purchase the other. That's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you. So I think the compromise would be a specific PC Sony app that will allow you to download their games on PC that they can just make sure isn't usable on Xbox's Xbox PC hardware. And call it a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Sony, if you decide you actually want to go that route, I highly recommend you make it work for Linux because Steambox.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It probably would need to.
And I'll send you my invoice for the consulting fee.
Is it $1 million?
No, it's 1.8 billion.
Okay, perfect. I'm sure they'll hand that over to you. It's only 2% of revenue.
Yeah, exactly. It's only 2% of their revenue. Like that's nothing.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, not much more to say about this. We already kind of talked about this was it last week? I think last week. So
something like that.
We're kind of rehashing some of this, but it was just more information from a somewhat reputable reporter. But anyways, I think that's all we have for this week, unless you want any last comments. All right, people. Close your books. Pack your bags. That's all we have time for this week. We hope you enjoy your time off. Make sure you keep an eye out for those Prius drivers. They like to camp corners. They like to just sit in random spots and not play the objective. They only go for kills, and they're very selfish. And that's all per Heru. So if you have any problems with that, make sure you reach out to Heru specifically or leave a comment specifically addressing him, because he'll definitely take your concerns and respond to them in kind. Anyways, we look forward to your participation next time. Peace.
See ya.